Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for December 21st through the 27th of 2025. So this is it. Technically, the 21st is the beginning of the new year when we go into conception mode and dream it up, but it's also the end of our calendar year. So we're right on that cusp of ending new beginning. And we kick it off on Sunday the 21st with the Soul Sisters Seasonal Fire Ceremony. And this initiates our new year. It's the earliest one of the year because it's the shortest day of the year. So it'll be 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. This is a free community event, but the suggested donation is $22. And for the season, there's a seasonal reading, and everyone that contributes $22 will get their own customized seasonal reading. And I'm very grateful for those who contribute energetically or otherwise. Winter solstice welcomes the new solar year and initiates the return of the light. Things appear dormant on the surface. However, much life is beginning to develop beneath the surface in preparation for spring. Gradually, as Mother begins to withdraw her energy from one side of the earth, she simultaneously begins to feed and nourish the other side. Nature begins to slowly reawaken and the cycle of life continues. Ashe. It is still a time of relative darkness and limited mobility because it is a conception point. So you are most supported for working behind the scenes, communing with other realms, honoring darkness and silence, while receiving, taking in, and processing new information, nourishment, and replenishment. It is time to clarify your intention for the new year and prepare for those necessary first steps, new choices, and wise actions that facilitate forward movement. This sacred season is about what you feel on the deepest levels is right for you personally. As you create space to move from that center within you, that inner core stability of knowing your truth and purpose, it becomes automatic and you become a more dynamic participant in life. It's time to clarify your overall purpose and create the container that will support and protect that goal or purpose for the entire year. So, deep breath. It's time to take the past year's fruits of your labor and put them to good use. It's time to set your intentions for what you want to create within and without. It's time to strategize about the future while building on what is solid and worthy. And it's time to get serious and practical about what you want and design a plan for success. Things to contemplate at the turn of the season. What do you want to accomplish in 1 year? Set one tangible and one intangible goal for yourself. How will you define progress on a monthly basis, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual basis? Break your goals into manageable pieces or stages of development to avoid anxiety and overwhelm. Deep breath. What completed, ended, or died in the last year that has actually cleared space and freed up energy for you? Give yourself credit for completions and get excited about the new possibilities. That's what this turn of the season is for. And I hope you will join us live for the fire ceremony where we'll go over the energetic support for the next 6 weeks. We have seasonal divinations and a seasonal community reading that is kind of for everyone. The same day is packed with energy. Venus is squaring off with Saturn. So first was Mars. So our choices and decisions, our actions and desires, our sacred masculine, how we get anything done and take action on our own behalf and protect ourselves, had to grow and get mature with Saturn, right? And then the sun, and of course Mercury is mixed up in there too. Our thinking had to change, and then how we channel our energy had to change to adjust this reality, right? Here comes Venus with the values and priorities. So there is an order to this that's not always this way, right? And Saturn and Neptune are at the end of Pisces for their respective larger cycles of 30 and 165 years. So it's going to be many years before we have to sort of do it this way. And this is the other one. And, it was another week when Venus squared off with Pluto. But when she squares off with Pluto or Saturn, I always encourage you all to be alone, to do intentional solitude, to do your own self-examination of your values and priorities. So Venus squaring Saturn is energy that might foster a sense of detachment in your connections and coolness with loved ones. It serves as an opportune moment to appraise and weigh the equilibrium within your relationships, assessing the harmony between giving and receiving. Be it in business or personal spheres, relationships usually thrive on a balanced exchange. You might find yourself more conscious of your innate independence and reevaluating the necessity of certain relationships at this juncture. This phase propels you to delve into your inner resilience and personal determination to live in alignment with your own values and priorities. Consequently, it is easier to discern the need for corrections or adjustments, and they might become quite evident during this period. Feelings of loneliness, despondency, or disconnection could arise, but it is usually an opportunity presented by the universe to scrutinize and reassess your current interactions, both with others and how you allow them to interact with you. Periodically evaluating even the strongest relationships is beneficial to ensure a solid foundation. Avoid succumbing to ego-based fears or focusing solely on shortcomings and limitations. So the negative, right? Let's look at the positives and weigh it all out. Instead, focus on reinforcing your strengths and honoring the positive aspects that you create together, as well as within yourself. This phase encourages intentional solitude, as I said at the top, as the insights gained through this introspective process will eventually provide stability and guidance for your future endeavors, right? So there's been a shift in your own values and priorities, which means you've got to integrate them, which can be challenging, into the reality. And we're calling it a new reality because Saturn is at the end of a major 30-year cycle that's affecting us on a social collective level. And then if you live with Saturn in Pisces or Saturn in Aries, then you're right smack in the middle of your Saturn return. So there's a lot going on there. And like I said, because Saturn and Neptune are so close together, Venus hits Saturn on the 21st and Neptune on the 24th, just 3 days later. And this energy serves as a conduit for creative inspiration. So it can push you to get creative, absolutely. But it's like all activations, there's a light and shadow expression. If you possess any artistic inclinations, you will find access to a potent energy that could lead to the creation of something truly remarkable. Delve deep and allow your creative essence to flow freely. At the same time, this energy might challenge relationships, both personal and professional, to ground themselves in more authenticity and integrity. Relationships lacking a solid foundation are likely to dissolve during this influence. When Neptune exerts its influence, it alters our perception, often illuminating potentials rather than the actual reality. It is a time to detach and trust in the unfolding journey. If a relationship concludes under this influence, it is not necessarily a negative thing, but rather it suggests that it may never have been firmly established from the start. Embrace gratitude and move forward. This activation aims to harmonize your genuine values and priorities with the vision held in your mind and heart. However, expanding your consciousness is necessary. Trust your inner guidance and take practical steps forward, aligning your actions with your newfound understanding. Okay, deep breath. And it's relationships and finances and a challenge with Neptune to be realistic and to set good boundaries. And in some cases, having an exit strategy is a good thing. That same day, the 24th, it hits Neptune and then goes right into Capricorn until January 17th. Venus moving into Capricorn is a cosmic signal to upgrade the structure of your life, both literally and figuratively. This energy calls you to take full responsibility for creating, maintaining, and sustaining your own world. It is about owning your inner authority and stepping into the innate ability to run your life with integrity, intention, and grounded wisdom. This is a time to examine your values and priorities, particularly around emotional security, physical safety, and the fundamentals that support your well-being. What truly matters to you? How do you define security, stability, and protection? The ways you answer these questions have likely shifted since November, December of 2024, which is the last time she was in Capricorn, and will continue to evolve over the next few years, culminating around late 2027 after Venus completes her retrograde journey through Scorpio Libra. So normally what would happen kind of annually is going to be extended a little bit longer than that because we hit a retrograde in late 2026. So this is important. This is big because she won't be back here for quite a while. And it's leading to an initiation with Mars, which is a huge deal that I've kind of talked about along the way because it initiates a whole new cycle that we haven't seen for 2 years. And in Capricorn, haven't seen for many more than that because the last time they did it 2 years ago was in Aquarius. But back to Venus. Venus in Capricorn asks, do your current commitments, structures, and responsibilities reflect your deepest values? Are you investing your time, energy, and resources in things that truly nourish your life? Or are you sustaining patterns, habits, or projects that no longer serve you? This energy is deeply personal for those with Cancer, Capricorn, or Aries, Libra activated in their charts. But its lessons touch all of us. It's a time to survey your reality, assess what's working, and release what is not. Capricorn brings clarity about where life feels rigid, dry, or unstable, highlighting the areas where you may have been carrying too much, overextending yourself, or neglecting your own foundation. Take stock of these basics: your home, work, nourishment, and the foundation that supports your daily life. Capricorn asks you to dedicate your efforts toward productive, sustainable ends, efforts that support not only yourself, but also the wider circle of people that your life touches. Ashe. Capricorn energy is about responsibility, the kind that aligns your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions with your physical reality. What you hold within is reflected in the world around you, and this transit invites you to build inner fortitude that naturally creates outer stability. Ruled by Saturn, Capricorn teaches the art of dedication, patience, and step-by-step progress. It is the energy that supports long-term achievement, helping you to manifest structures and systems that last and create outcomes that will support more than just your immediate needs. If you have been postponing decisions, feeling unstable in primary aspects of life, or overwhelmed by the responsibilities you have at this time, then Venus in Capricorn is your invitation to meet your inner architect. This is the part of you that can survey, clear, dedicate, and design a new, clean foundation, a structure or container that aligns with your current growth, your deepest values, and the life you are now ready to build. Venus in Capricorn asks us to step into adulthood, not in a rigid or joyless way, but in the empowered, creative, and responsible way of someone who knows their own worth and can own their own power to make good choices. This is your time to craft a life that reflects your truth, your vision, and your dedication to both yourself and the greater good. Ashe. So this is huge. Mars is already there. Now Venus is there. They're lining up to get together with a whole bunch of support from a couple other planets and activate a new reality and a new cycle that we can really live into and co-create going forward. So as always, I hope you will join us at some of these live events. Reach out directly when you need to, and have a fantastic week. If you are wanting some extra relevant reflections or need to get to the event links, check out the December monthly missive where all the links should be located, as well as the current blog. Whatever event falls during that week, the link will be in that week. So they're kind of in multiple places, so it's easy to get to for you. And I hope you'll reach out. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.